Welcome to the LA Story Podcast with Stevie Wilson.
Let me go ahead and do this.
Okay.
Hey, people, this is Stevie for the LA Story. I always say this. I get to talk to the most interesting people. And this one is actually perfectly timed for this time of year. She is the expert on entertaining and how to make it easy. We have Sissy Biggers, and oh my God, I'm so glad to talk to you today because I want to throw a holiday party, but I don't want to be feeling like I'm doing all the work and that while my husband sits there and talks to everybody.
And you get to say, oh, so how was the party, honey?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I get to clean up.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
It's
wait
tricky.
a minute, there's got to be a time where I actually get to have fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Am I the expert? It sounds to me like, this is classic marriage stuff, but that's for a whole other topic, right? But
Exactly.
But
no,
Stevie,
I'm just talking about how can we do it so that
you want to
everybody
enjoy
has
yourself.
fun.
It's so true. And when it comes to Thanksgiving, straight through the New Year, it's like I'm really in charge of the party. Let's face it. I love it. I enjoy it. I really do. But I get that same vibe, like, it was a lot of work and you want to enjoy it. So let's start first, with the house guests as well, because I want to talk about the whole picture. It's not just the parties, right? It's a lot of people coming to stay. So you want to have sort of a good look. First thing I say, Stevie, is take a good look at your kitchen, right? Your kitchen systems. You want to make sure, like, you've got the platters, the serving pieces. There's nothing worse than you're killing yourself, right? And then you can't find anything to put it on.
Yes.
So you want to really check your inventory of your kitchen. And that goes same for the pantry. The other day I stood in my kitchen and I was just tossing out of my pantry of, stuff that had gotten too old, that just didn't look right anymore. And I go to the supermarket and I make a list, and right behind olive oil, salt and pepper and paprika and all those other things that I'll be using, I always stock up on good quality coffee, and Dunkin' Donuts packaged coffee, it's right there in the supermarket now. It's,
Oh, wow.
It's so easy to pick out because we know the packaging is so bright and fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's got the original blend, and then it's the Dunkin' Dark, which I've been totally enjoying today. And then the decaf. So another tip there is you got to have decaf for your guests. If you're not a decaf household, and somebody's there and they're like, oh, do you have decaf? And the last thing you want to say is, oh, no, I don't have decaf.
That's a good idea, because
so
I actually don't.
You probably don't have it either. So stock up on some decaf, have it handy. And then, another quick tip is when it comes to milk and cream in your fridge, like I'm a skim milk with coffee girl, couldn't have it any other way. My sister-in-law, she's got to have the half and half. She'll be here on Monday. Got to make sure I get the half and half in the fridge. So it's like you want to have that satisfying cup of coffee. And, of course, Dunkin' Donuts has got that great taste, and they'll love it. You got to have your little system worked out. Coffee maker's got to be ready and working. You got to have your right milks and your good mugs, and you're good to go. Now, same pantry vein. Are you a baker, Stevie?
Sort of sometimes used to be.
Well, then, you know what? It's probably this time of year, like it's maybe the one time a lot of us bake if we're not real bakers. But bakers know that they can count on the Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk. It's like isn't that how pumpkin pie is made, right? Exactly.
Yes, and also this cookie with the cookie graham cracker on the bottom and the coconut.
This is, oh my gosh, this is the magic bar. I call this the classic. Check out the website. If you go to eaglebrand.com, you'll find all these great recipes. And this is so let me get this right. It's a white chocolate apricot swirl cheesecake.
Oh, my God.
With the Dunkin' coffee. Let me just say, I've had a pretty good day so far. It's so delicious. And you know what? Again, share if some of your viewers and listeners have got a really good recipe, if they go to eaglebrand.com, they can enter the sweet secret a chance to show off their wonderful recipe, and they could win $10,000. So by December 7th, this one last year, by the way, the white chocolate cheesecake. So you could win $10,000 with your recipe. Go check it out because, $10,000 could sweeten up the holiday, right?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Now, this is an easy tip, Stevie. You got to have good spreads and dips at the ready at all times. You never know, who's going
to stop by.
Yeah, and you've got a grown girl like I do. My daughter begins her day. She loves it. Hummus, Sabra hummus. She has it on a bagel. It's delicious. Great for hors d'oeuvres. There are more than 20 flavors. If you go to Facebook, check them out there. They've got all these great ideas. People are sharing ways they doctor up and have some fun with their hummus. You can add roasted vegetables. Like, what's really good is like roasted eggplant. It kind of gives it a Middle Eastern flair. And then a quick tip there is when you're doing vegetables, Stevie, like if you're doing a cucumber, do 2. And then put the additional one in a resealable, reusable plastic bag or a container, plastic container. That way, store it in the fridge so everybody can help themselves to something, fresh and crispy thanks to the storage in the plastic. And then, by the way, speaking of plastics and baking, this is the time of year also check out like all the latest innovations in plastic, especially in baking tools. I love this. This is a cake and cookie decorator, a little accordion, lightweight, very precise plastic. Great for kids. It's practically like crafty. I love it so much. So,
wow.
So look for that, and always stock up on your plastic containers so you've got a place to put your leftovers and store, the dips and things that you didn't use. So, so that should be, right on your list with everything else that you should be picking up some good resealable and reusable plastics.
Exactly.
And then,
I'm big on
but
Ziploc.
I'm still back to your party. And here's the thing. I like to do sort of like crowd things, that people can help themselves. I mean, I'm all about self-service.
Oh, me too.
Okay. I also I don't use a caterer. So I have a couple of like go-to places, like some delis and some places where I get some things that I know. I have this deli. They make stuffed mushrooms for 25 cents a piece.
Wow.
I know. I bring those home and I put them in the oven and then I pass them. And it's like I had a caterer. Like I had these like secret places. Okay, here's my other tip. This is a really good one. When you go to the bakery at the supermarket, get a baguette, have them cut it in half and put it on the cutter. Get the bag tied up. You get perfectly uniform baguettes, and they're great to toast up and serve like with a hummus or with cheeses. Or I make cheese toast. It's so easy. You just dip the baguette in olive oil and then in some nice shredded Parmesan, and then put it on spray the cookie sheet and put it on the sheet with like some almonds on top, maybe a little paprika. Cheese toast, delicious.
Sounds amazing.
And inexpensive, actually.
Oh, very. And if you even grind up some almonds on top.
Almonds on top, pine nuts. And the thing about a cheese toast, like you can make it in the morning. And it's just, and put it in a plastic container with the top on, and it's perfect. I did those a couple weeks ago at this party, and people loved my cheese toast. I was like, I am so making those over the holidays.
Sounds like a great idea.
You know what else is
my
good?
God.
Anything like garlic, too. Roasted garlic. Another good thing, roasted garlic.
I love roasted garlic, and it's something that I haven't done in a while.
What you do is you lob off the top, right? So it's flat, and wrap it, or put it in a baking dish, which is easier. Olive oil, salt and pepper. Just roast, you can't over roast it. Oh, it's so good. It just squeezes out, and you just put it on bread, on toasted bread. Delish. Actually,
I remember
great
eating
with the hummus.
most of that as an appetizer and going, I'm not ready. Dinner, forget dinner.
It's so good. It is so good. You know what? You could put it like, you could smear, okay, ready? You could smear it on one of my toasted baguette rounds, right? The roasted garlic. And then top it with some, whatever flavor hummus you have around the house. Hello, how good is that?
That's awesome.
And it's also kind of fun. And that's like with my daughters, like I love it when they want to help. They enjoy it, It's fun. And then they get these little ideas that they take into their lives. So that's part of the idea, right? Let them learn it, take it into their own lives.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Well, Stevie, I've enjoyed our time together.
Wow. I mean, you've given me so many great tips and ideas.
Well, I want you to have a fun holiday season, okay?
Absolutely. People, you have tons of tips here. I mean, you've heard Sissy give us all kinds of great ideas. You've got my brain thinking, wait a minute, I've got this in the pantry and this in the fridge, and I should do all this stuff.
And you know what? If you follow me at Twitter, Sissy Big, SISSYBIGG, Sissy Big, 2 Gs, I'll have more ideas throughout the holiday season, okay?
Awesome. And if people wanted to, so they can ask you questions via Twitter.
Sure.
Perfect.
Bring them on.
We love it.
You know what? You should see what happens to me when I'm in the supermarket around Thanksgiving. Great talking with you, Stevie.
Hey, people, this is Stevie for the LA Story. We'd like to thank Sissy Biggers for her time today, and you need to follow her tips. Don't forget all the Dunkin' Donut coffee and all the things that she's talked about. We'll put all this stuff on the blog, and you'll see the video that goes with this. This is Stevie for the LA Story saying see you soon. Bye.
Thanks for joining Stevie Wilson on LA Story. Feel free to check out other podcasts and videos. Bookmark it now. www.la-story.com.